Everyone say wake up projector. Do you guys have a good morning so far? Afternoon? Wow. Whatever time it is. Whoa, it's blurry. There we go. Can everyone read that? Okay, so I need everyone quiet in 3, 2. Wow, you guys are good. Okay, so the first exciting, awesome, fantastic thing we're going to talk about is paperwork. Woo! Paperwork! So we have sponsor paperwork that if you were here on September 7th, you got that paperwork. And that is that green sheet that if you didn't get it before, you should have gotten it on your way in today. And that is due November 22nd. It's just, you just need to have the information of who your sponsor is so that we know that they exist and that they're a Catholic in good standing. So that's that green sheet. So this is Mother Teresa. She's pretty tight. I like her. Someone read that out loud. Everybody, read that out loud, what the quote is. Wow, that was like Harry Potter when they did the song all together. Oh, that was awesome. Okay, I'm the nerd. So, we can all do small things with great love. We can't all do great things, and that's okay. We can do small things. And I want you guys to all do some small things, and that is your service project. So you should have a paper in there about your service project. And I apologize, all the paperwork that's in this folder, I didn't create it, so we're kind of learning this paperwork together, you and I. So it may be a little confusing to you and or me because it is not my reading. So we're learning it together. So a service project is about giving back. And there are tons of different ways you can give back. Those are just some, oh, that's a little hard to read. Let's move this over. Get my hip into it. There we go. So these are just some ideas of some places you can serve. You can serve pretty much anywhere you can think of where there are people who need help. It can be in an organization. It can be something here at church. There's some different clubs and things that are adults here at church that have asked for help from you guys. So those are things that you can come to me and say, hey, I want to help with the St. Francis Club. I want to help them do mulch, because mulch is great. Or the Art and Environment Committee, they if you like to want to help them decorate and stuff. Or help with faith formation, like, where's Maris? She helps with faith formation. She teaches first grade. So you can be an aide and help out in a classroom of a younger grade. As long as you're 5 years older than them, you can help out with the classroom. Or in your community, if you have an elderly neighbor, you can help them walk down the street. Or, that wouldn't count as your whole service project, but stuff like that, all is service. So there are 2 pieces of information that you need to get to me about your service project. The first is the plan part, and that's the back of the sheet that has all those spots in it, the white sheet. A lot of you are looking at it. The one side is landscape, the other side is portrait, and you have a part on the bottom you have to fill out. And that is due November 22nd. So I want to know that you're thinking about this by next time. I want to know what you're planning on doing, and I want to know that your parents know about it too, that they have signed off on it. And it's the white sheet that should be on the right side of your folder. And by right I mean left. Sorry. I'm good with directions. I passed kindergarten, I promise. And then the second part is a reflection, and that is due March 22nd. And I hated writing papers when I was in 8th grade, so I totally understand hating writing papers. And there are many ways in which we communicate, and it's not all just papers. So any way that you can communicate to me those reflection questions that you were handed on the way in by Rayanne and Casey, those, or maybe they're already in your folder. Those list of reflection questions, those need to be communicated to me. And it can be in any way that you can think of that is a clear way to communicate them. It can be a YouTube video, it can be a poem, it can be a conversation that you have that you have scheduled an appointment with me. It can be a poster, it can be a paper. If you want to write a paper, you can write a paper. It just needs to clearly respond to those reflection questions. So, can anyone read that? Just read it. Hey, anybody know what Communion of Saints is? It's not communion like the Eucharist, but it kind of is in a mystical way. So the Communion of Saints is all of us and all of those people who are holy and are already in heaven and have died. So it's kind of hard to imitate God. It's not easy to imitate God. So we choose a confirmation name and we pick a saint that has that name because it's hard to imitate God, and it's a lot easier to understand if you pick a saint that you can relate to, that maybe likes the same things as you or is in a similar situation to you. There are saints who died at 13 years old, which is kind of freaky to think that that happened, but there are saints like that. There are saints who love to read. There are saints who, I don't think we have a patron saint of who like went on the internet yet, but we do have a patron saint of the internet. I can't quote who that is, sorry. Someone get on their smartphone. Just kidding. Okay, so there are tons of different saints. And just the same as with the other one, the other project, you can tell me about your confirmation saint however you want. Same idea of acceptable ways to tell me about your confirmation saint. It can be a YouTube video, it can be a poem, it can be a poster, it can be a sculpture. You can have a conversation with me that you make an appointment for. And it just needs to have clear answers to all those questions on that piece of paper in your folder that ask about your confirmation saint, their name, where they're from, all that sort of things that is listed on there. And that's the end of my slide. Okay, so all of that paper in your folders, I see some of you are good at pulling it out and looking at it. Some of you haven't. I want everyone to have their folders open and look at all those sheets of paper. You have 30 seconds. Look at them. Go. They're all the ones on the left. They're the ones we just talked about. So, are there any questions about these projects? Yes. Okay, so your service project needs to be something that you're choosing to do specifically for confirmation. So if it's something you're already planning on doing, it's not going to be your confirmation service project. There's no double dipping for this. Yes? Those are something separate. If you have a particular project that you do that is your own, that you do that happen to be involved with that crew, that's fine. But again, no double dipping. More questions? Yes. There is not an hour requirement. I would say if you do less than 5, you're not showing me that you have very much dedication to this and to do that action on your service or on your confirmation. But more is awesome, and it's not about the hours, it's about the intent and the heart you're putting into it and all of that. Any more questions? All right, so we're done with the paperwork. You can put those folders away unless you're the kind of person who likes to take notes. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys need pens or pencil, anybody else want a pen? Pen. Anybody else? Those are all left-handed throws. Alright, so we're going to watch a video, because I like videos, and they're fun. And you can learn things from videos. But you gotta listen. I'm waiting until I hear listening, which means I don't hear anything.
sometimes, days and weeks. When you're trying these tricks, you really can't understand exactly what's going on and how everything fits together as a whole. But one day, you get to the skate park and you're not even thinking about it, and it just kind of happens right in front of you. It took me a good couple of years to learn tail whips. It's extremely hard to be able to flip the bike all the way around and land back on the pedals. Much like your faith, you really don't understand exactly, what God's plan is and what's going on every single day. It comes slowly, and everything does fit together. My name is Mike Stanek. I'm a professional BMX rider. I've been riding bikes now since I was about 5 years old. I would stack up some plywood and put it on a couple logs and just kind of pedal down the block and just hit it at full speed and see how far I can go. It really took off when I started learning backflips at about 16 years old. Because of that trick, really, I started doing shows. I just really enjoy doing shows because you get to interact with the people one-on-one. My BMX riding has really led me to my decision to become a doctor. Since I was a kid, I'd be at the skate park, someone would get hurt, and I would always be the first person to get down on the ground and be helping that person. I think playing sports throughout high school has really helped with that as well. With my school background, I really, hit biology and the sciences really hard. I was like, science. You know all about the human body, you know exactly how it works, but there's just dimensions to that you can't understand. You cannot ever relate to a book, and all these unanswered questions I've found in my faith and in God, and it kind of like just puts everything in a full circle. Although I am completely committed to books, science, and learning, I'm also completely committed to my faith. If I wanted to, I could have threw the school thing to the side and did nothing but travel on my bike. I love school just as much as I love my bike, and I can't stop going to school and learning. I'll be studying for a test for all week, eat, sleep, and study. At the end of the week, I finally take my exam, and I come home, I just get on my bike, and I kind of forget about everything that I've been doing the whole week. And I grew up in the faith, just going to church every single Sunday with my family, and it kind of helped me build as a person and grow. I never thought that I could actually become a doctor because of the high expectations that everyone has for doctors, but if this is something that I really want to do, and I really, really enjoy helping people, then I could definitely do this. I still do professional competitions and bike shows. I still enjoy it, and I'll never stop doing it.
Alright, so the whole idea of why I wanted you guys to see that video is just to get you thinking about God as a person, and you're a person, and we both have each of us as unique people, sorry, I'll come up here where you can all see, you have a relationship with Him, or you don't, and it's your choice how you relate to Him or how you don't relate to Him, and we each all have that opportunity to relate with God. We each all have a unique story of how we relate with God. And so that was Mike's story, and Maris is going to tell us a little bit about her story. So give her a little cheer. She's nervous.
Hi, my name's Maris. I'm a junior in high school. So that means 3 years ago, I was sitting here in confirmation class also. So even though I was being confirmed in the Holy Spirit, I still sometimes doubted God. I doubted if God existed, even though I was going to be confirmed. So after I was confirmed, and then that summer I went to a high school youth conference, which is called Steubenville. So at Steubenville, Saturday Night Adoration, it is amazing.